Hey friends, happy Wednesday. I know this podcast episode is a little bit late and I apologize for that. We had an incredible week in Kona. I got to go and officiate a wedding. It was such a dream to be officiating a wedding on a beach, to be there with my fiance, to be there with friends and family. I have never been to Hawaii before, not any of the islands, so I really didn't know what to expect, but just had such a beautiful, magical, peaceful, restful time there. I loved it. I got to go snorkeling. That was like my one must do while we were there, and saw lots of different fish. I loved it. I loved Kona. I loved officiating the wedding. Something that just kind of realizing about myself, I really enjoy those kind of sacred ceremonies of different sorts. But that's not the point of the episode today. We're wrapping up Libra season. We've got just 2 more days left in Libra season. We had a new moon in Libra this morning at 5:25 Pacific time, and 3 hours and 20 minutes later, the moon went into Scorpio. So that's where the moon is now. The sun will go into Scorpio on the 23rd and join the moon over there. Scorpio season is coming up, but before we go ahead, I want us to really root into what we have learned over Libra season. I think there's something really cool about having a new moon at the beginning of the season and getting to set intentions for the season. And I think there's also something really cool about the new moon being at the very end, where you get to take what you've learned, how you've grown over the course of the sun season, and infuse that into your intentions going forward. So as we think about this new moon that we just had in Libra at the very end of Libra season, this is what I want us to take is, what have you been learning? How have you been growing? And what do you want to integrate going into not only this 29-day moon cycle, but going into Scorpio season? And with the moon cycles, we go through a moon cycle every 29 days, right? There's going to be another new moon in 29 days. That's how that works. And we have what's called a moon cycle family. This is something that I've learned from another astrologer. Her name's April Elliott Kent. She has a really great podcast that kind of goes through weekly astrology. It's called the Big Sky Astrology Podcast. I know I've mentioned that before, but I want to put that out there. In terms of these moon phase families, when we have a new moon, there's, we go through the cycle of new moon, setting intentions, planting seeds. First quarter moon, really getting clear on are there any changes we need to make as we continue through this cycle? Full moon, getting that big picture, getting all the light shown on the work that we've done so far, making sure that we're continuing that work. And then last quarter moon, kind of tying up or cutting off any loose ends before we go to the next new moon. So that is part of that 29-day cycle. But then there's also a 3-year cycle, and that's that moon family cycle, the moon phase family, where now we have a new moon in Libra. 9 months from now, there will be a first quarter moon in Libra right around the same degree. I think it's going to be at 28 degrees. The new moon was at 29. 9 months later, there will be a full moon. And then 9 months after that, a last quarter moon. And so there's also this, you're not just setting intentions for the next 29 days, you're setting intentions for the next 3 years with this new moon. That's something I want you to think about, that there, sometimes, and I talk about this a little bit in the last episode where I talked about having invested, $10,000 into trying to get a lot of really quick wins with my business. We want that, right? We want the quick wins in our life, whether it's in business, in finance, in relationships. We want things to happen quickly. And sometimes they do, but often it's little steps that add up over time that then become something big. And that's what this moon phase family cycle, understanding it that way, does, is it lets us go, okay, I want to set intentions that, yes, I'm going to be paying attention to over the next 29 days, but also over the next 3 years. So thinking about Libra, thinking about this Libra season, and what are we going to take with us? I hope that you have something really specific that comes to your mind with this. For me, one of the things I've been thinking about, and that we really haven't talked about yet on the podcast, is Libra is about justice. Yes, Libra is about harmony. Yes, it's about beauty. Yes, it's about bringing Beauty where there was chaos, bridging gaps. That's all very Libra oriented. And the symbol of Libra is justice, balancing the scales, right? That balance isn't just for beauty, it's not just for peace, it's also for justice. And I think many of us find it very easy or easier to speak up or stand up when we see injustices against others. And I 100% want us to continue doing that. I want us to really lean into what do we do when we see injustices against others. I hope that we'll continue to lean into that. And where for many of us with strong Libra placements, where we are most out of balance and out of harmony is when we are the ones who need somebody to stand up for us. When we are the ones who are not being cared for. And we have to start practicing this in small ways, because when it comes to big ways, we're not going to suddenly know how to do that or feel comfortable doing that if we haven't been doing it in small ways. So I hope this doesn't seem too trivial, because I'm going to bring it into like really what could feel trivial ways, but these matter because this is how we build up these skills, right? If you're asked, do you want to do something, and the answer for you is internally a no or not right now. Most of us with strong Libra placements will say yes anyway, because we want to make the other person happy. So one way that you can say yes while also kind of honoring yourself in that is to share what you can do. So maybe you can't take on that new project, or you can't stay late, or you can't do something immediately. But what you can do is you can get to it first thing tomorrow morning. What you can do is, while you can't stay late, you might be able to come back to that later this evening if it really truly is that urgent. Most of the times it's not. Or you can get to it next week. Look, I'm working on a really big project right now. I've got a deadline. I would love to help you with that. Can it wait until next Monday? That's a way that you can say yes while honoring your own boundaries. If you're asked, what do you want to eat for dinner, or where do you want to go for dinner, or what movie do you want to watch? Pick something. I know that that's like, no, Kelly, I cannot, I don't want to, but I promise your people are going to love it when you have an idea of what you want. Even if y'all don't end up going to that, just saying, hey, I haven't tried such and such, or it's been a while since we've been to, or what I'm really craving is. And let the other person do with that what they want to. It is a gift that you are giving to them when you say what you want. I know there is a sense of power that comes from saying what you want. And for too long, those of us with really strong Libra placements and others, this isn't just a Libra thing, but this is wrapping up Libra season. We have relinquished that power and we are very deeply out of balance. This is even something as simple as you can see that there's dishes in the sink and you are exhausted and you do not want to do them, but you know they need to get done. If there is another capable human in your house who can do the dishes, just try saying, you know what would be so helpful for me today is if you could do the dishes before bed tonight. Doesn't have to be right now, doesn't have to be immediate, but I would love to be able to wake up in the morning and not see dirty dishes in the sink. Yeah, they might say no, but chances are your people are going to go, oh my gosh, yes, no problem, I'll do that. That idea of kind of reclaiming your power is not just to get what you want. I think this is really important, and this goes back to that justice side of things, right? We get really good at standing up for others. However, there is going to come a point where standing up for others, standing up for what you know to be right, is going to clash with what you know others want from you. And this is a way that you bolster your ability to stand in your power, to stand in your truth, to stand in who you are, by doing these little things, by doing it in ways that the risk, it might feel big because you're not used to it, but the risk truly isn't big. If you ask your people in your house to help you with the dishes and they give you crap for that, that is a problem. Not because you asked them, but because of the unwillingness, if there truly is an unwillingness there. So I don't anticipate for most of you that that's actually going to be a problem. But I think that's what we fear, right? We fear that if I don't just get up and do the dishes instead of asking, hey, could you help me with that, that the other person's going to be unhappy with us. The vast majority of the time they are not. And if they are unhappy because we asked for help, that is another issue of its own. Same thing with work. If you have something going on already and someone comes and says, hey, can you help me with this? It is perfectly acceptable to say, I am locked in. I have to get this finished. I really want to help you. Can I get back to you in an hour? Can I get back to you tomorrow? Unless it is a truly urgent matter, they're going to be okay with it. And if it is a truly urgent matter, then y'all figure that out together. But if you don't give them the gift of saying, I've got to finish this, of the truth of where you are at, what you need, you are withholding from them really vital information. You are withholding from them the full context of what's going on. And that's not fair either. I want to encourage you, invite you to think through this Libra new moon. How do you want to grow? How do you want to take the superpowers of Libra that are fairness and justice and knowing what others want and knowing what others need? How do you want to take those superpowers and integrate them into your being so that 3 years from now, 29 days from now, and 3 years from now, you can be someone who can stand firm in their ability to know what they want, to say what they want, to work with others to get something that works for both of you. I love this idea, especially in this regard of the moon phase families, because you can go back 9 months from now at that first quarter moon in Libra and go, how have I done on this? Where have I seen myself grow in my own integrity and in inviting others into the full context of what's going on? I think that's super exciting. I have a few questions for you that I think will help you think through this or process through this. If you are someone who has oracle cards and has used them before, I want to encourage you to use the cards. The moon is already in Scorpio now. Scorpio is very much about what's under the surface. We will on Monday talk about that. But I want you to use oracle cards to help you see what is hiding just beneath your own surface. This is a really good way to process things. You can meditate on what comes up. You can journal. You can dance. You can paint. You can draw. You can collage. There's so many ways that you can process this. That's going to be for you to decide how you want to process. But I want you to spend some time today or this week or even this weekend with these questions, taking this power of the new moon with you. And I will put these in the show notes too. Okay, so I'm going to read these out. You can come back to the show notes and see these questions. There's only 3 of them. If you don't use oracle cards, just spend time with the questions. Spend time with each one. Go one at a time. And however you process, meditate, journal, draw, collage, paint, dance, whatever that is for you. Walk, talk through it. I want you to think through these as you set intentions for this new moon, not only for the next 29 days going into Scorpio season, also for the next 3 years. The first question is, in what way am I out of balance with my own needs for harmony, integration, and justice? How am I out of balance with my own need for harmony, integration, and justice? the second question, what will most help me to practice saying what I want or what I need? What will most help me practice saying what I want or what I need? And then the third question, what can change in my life as a result of practicing using the superpowers of Libra to help my own self, to meet my wants and my needs? Essentially, how am I out of balance? What will help me regain balance or find balance or create balance? And what will change as a result of doing that? Those are the questions. I love doing this with oracle cards because you can actually lay them out where you've got a card going up and down, a card sideways as a bridge, very Libra, right? And then another card up and down. We're asking, what do I need to address? What is out of balance in terms of my own needs for harmony, integration, and justice? How can I address that need? What will most help me to practice saying what I want or what I need? And then what is going to change in my life as a result of tapping into Libra's superpowers and in doing whatever that bridge card is? If you don't do cards, that's fine. Like I said, you can still process these questions. I just think the cards are an insanely helpful way to get below the surface of what's really going on for you. Okay, friends, our next episode, we will be talking about Scorpio season. I love this. But I'm going to tell you what I want right now as a Libra rising. This is not easy for me. I would love to hear from you. You can email me. That is absolutely the easiest way to contact me. It's hello@mostforyou.com. I am on LinkedIn. I am on Instagram. You can send me a DM on either of those. But if you listen to the podcast, I would love to hear from you one thing that has helped you, one thing that has shifted, one thing that has changed. Just how is this podcast impacting you and your life? That is what my Libra self would love to hear. And I want to thank you in advance. I want to thank you for hearing what I want and being willing to send me a quick message. That honestly means the world to me to get those messages. So thank you for those of you who do that. Friends, I will see you on Monday. I am already getting super excited about the next episode, but for now, we are here today. We are still in Libra season if you're listening to this when this goes live, and this one is 100% for you if you're listening, regardless of what placements you have in Libra. So much love to you, my friends, and I will see you Monday.